Hello students, it's good to see you here again. So today we will be continuing with our chapter number 6 of geography, that is agriculture. So students, as mentioned over here, agriculture is the practice of growing crops for direct human consumption and for use in industries as raw material. Like, why do we grow crops? Why do we do agriculture? So that we can directly consume the crops in the form of like eatables like wheat and rice and many other products, and in the form of raw material, so that that particular raw material can be converted into a finished product like coffee, tea leaves, which we consume in the as a form of finished product. So in this chapter, we will be studying more about growth of agriculture, factors that influence agriculture in a place, and the types of farming practiced all over the world. So let's know more about them. First, studying is growth of agriculture. People are involved in a number of economic activities, which can be grouped into three types, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. Agriculture is a primary activity. It is defined as the art of science of cultivating the soil and growing crops. Why agriculture is a primary activity? Primary activity means main activity, and it is defined as an art of and science of cultivating the soil and growing crops. Means it's a kind of trick in which a person and a farmer grows crop by by observing every possible thing into considerations. It also includes rearing of livestock. Livestock means every cattle and rearings. Activities where raw materials are processed and converted into new finished goods are known as secondary activities. Means the places where we convert raw materials into finished products. For example, converting coffee beans into finished raw powdery substance of a coffee that we use at our homes. That is known as secondary tertiary. For example, jute fiber is used for making jute bags. Tertiary activities include different activities like transport, communication, banking, and insurance, and many more. Over the years, improved methods and technologies have been implemented. Means every day people and technologies are upgrading, and great progress has been made in all aspects of crop production. Means every day and every year we observe certain increase and a kind of new change in the crop production method. Changes for better have been introduced in plowing, sowing, irrigation, weeding, and harvesting. Presently, about 50% of the world population is directly or indirectly engaged in agricultural and related activities. In India, 52% of the population practices agriculture for a living. This is a Here's a percentage which is given so that we can know about what kind of and what percentage of people are involved into agriculture, either directly or indirectly. So let's know about factors influencing agriculture. The techniques of farming, types of crops cultivated, and the quantities of crops produced vary from region to region. Means vary from place to place, जो भी techniques that we use. Such variations is due to the following factors. What are the factors? Let's know about them. Physical factors. Physical factors include the environmental factors like natural factors which exhibit and which influence the agriculture, like climate, relief, soil, and flood, and many disastrous places. Whereas in second point, it's mentioned about socio-economic factors, like social and economical factors include human factors such as labor, capital, technology, and market. Sometimes market is weak, so people will not be buying product. In that case, the person who has grown the crops will suffer a loss. And if the technology is not good, the person cannot sow the crops. If the technology is good, the person can save the money. In that case, there are many factors which influence the crops. Come on, types of farming. Let's know more about how many types of farming are there. Farming is done in various ways across the world. Means different people, different areas have different methods. On the basis of geographical conditions, demands, labors, and levels of technology, farming can be categorized into two main types, that is subsistence farming and commercial farming. Let's know more about these two types of farming. Subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is practiced mostly in tropical lowlands, means the area where there is lowland. Here the farmers grow crops mainly for their family consumption, means they don't have to sell that. They mainly use this so that they can get a meal of two times from the material and from the crop they are growing. The farm sizes are small and primitive methods of following farming are used, means very common methods are used, and family members help in the farms. Subsistence farming can further be classified into primitive subsistence farming and intensive subsistence farming. Like, subsistence farming has been further divided into two parts, primitive and intensive. Let's know more about primitive subsistence farming. Primitive farming is the oldest form of agriculture, shifting agriculture and nomadic herding are the two forms of primitive subsistence farming. It is practiced by mainly tribes of the world. Means shifting agriculture, that is Jhum, and nomadic herding means the people who herd their cattle and rearings. This is known as primitive subsistence farming. Let's know about shifting agriculture. Shifting agriculture is practiced in dense forested areas where an area is cleared by cutting and burning the vegetation. Why? Just because if a farmer is growing a crop in one land again and again, then the crop will suddenly lose the fertility, and the farmer will not get the desired output in the form of crops. So they go for a new land. They clear the forest and then they grow a new crop over there. The ashes of the burnt forest convert into nutrients and act as fertilizer for the crop. And ashes also play a very vital role because they are very rich in nitrogen, which is good for soil to gain its fertility. The land is used till it's rendered nutrient deficient. For example, suppose I am having a land and it has lost its fertility, then I will go for a land which is rich in nutrients, and again when the old land where I used to grow the crop will get sufficient amount of nitrogen, then I will come back to the same land again. Shifting agriculture is practiced in less populated areas such as the forested areas of the Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia, and parts of Northeast India. The main crops grown are yam, cassava, maize, and potatoes. It is also known as slash and burn agriculture. Mind the name and mark the name because that is important. That what is the second name of shifting cultivature? Shifting agriculture is harmful as it leads to deforestation and soil erosion, because if we clear a land, then because of that we lose so many trees. Because of that, deforestation is the first attempt and soil erosion is the second one. Many countries are encouraging people to give up from the agriculture in the form of practicing of shifting agriculture. Means many countries are not in favor of practicing shifting agriculture, that is slash and burn. Now let's know about nomadic herding. Nomadic herding. Nomadic herding is practiced in arid and semi-arid regions where crops can't grow. Regions which are either very dry or which are partially dry, means not that dry but still they are not good in fertility. They are known as arid. The seasonal movement of nomads with their livestock uphill during summer and downhill during winter is called transhumance. Why this is called transhumance? Because people move from one place to another. Like sometimes when they are like as per their capabilities and as per their favorabilities, they move to the downstairs and upwards on the hills. Nomadic herding is practiced in semi-arid regions in Sahara in Africa, West and Central Asia, and Northern Eurasia. Eurasia means Europe and Asia combination. Nomadic herding is prevalent in the regions of Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. Animals are reared for milk, meat, and hide, and for their skins, because so many people prefer animals for their own purposes and for the purpose of selling their products in the market for high prices as well. Okay, so let's know about intensive subsistence farming. The term intensive subsistence farming is used for the type of agriculture where the farmer tries to get maximum possible output from a small piece of land. Means the farmer knows that the land piece is very small, but he still tries to get maximum output, maximum profit from that particular small piece of land. It is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon region of South and Southeast Asia, and it is only possible in the regions where wet rains are there and the area is good in experiencing a good rainfall. Some regions of where these are followed are Asia, including China, Japan, Southeast, and many other regions of India. This forms of agriculture involves the use of small piece of land, as we know, a large quantity of human labor, and simple tools. These two things are added. Farm machinery is rarely used. Due to the long growing season and fertile soil, the farmer is able to grow 2 to 3 crops annually on the same piece of land by using high yield variety seeds. High yield variety seeds are those which are very good and give 110% good output in the form of crops. And chemical fertilizers are also used. Rice is the main crop. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses, and oilseeds. Because that land is good in rainfall, then farmers grow good number of crops over there. So students, let's know about another topic, that is commercial farming. As the name suggests, in commercial farming, crops are cultivated and animals are reared for profit. Means whatever is done, it's just for the one purpose, for the basic purpose of getting more profit. It is a farming system that is practiced for earning profits. Commercial farming is carried out on large farms with high investments in terms of quality, seeds, use of fertilizers, efficient labor, latest machines, and good transportation are also used so as to get more and more number of profit without any hassles. Commercial farming includes following types of farming like extensive farming, mixed farming, plantation farming, dairy farming, pastoral farming, orchid farming, horticulture, and market gardening. So let's know one by one them about them. So our first heading is extensive farming. Extensive farming is practiced in countries where abundant land is available for agriculture. Means there is no scarcity of land and the region is sparsely populated. Means okay types, not that much, neither too less. Under the system of farming, capital and labor used are very less as compared to the land that is cultivated. Means they need and require less number of capital and labor. The farming is highly mechanized so that higher yield is received. Means they prefer people less and prefer machines more so as to get work done quick, fast, and in an efficient manner. Wheat is the major crop grown in this type of farming. Other crops grown are oats, barley, rye, flax, potatoes, and root crops. Extensive farming is practiced in the prairies regions of North America, the pampas of South America, the steppes of Eurasia, and the downs of Australia. These are the regions where these things are and where extensive farming is mostly and mainly being practiced. So, next comes mixed farming. Mixed farming includes cultivation of food crops and rearing of animals on the same field. Means they do both of them alternatively on the same land. Cattle are reared for milk and meat. This is done to support the family as farms are not very big, though modern machinery, high yielding seeds and fertilizers are used for increasing the yield. Means they try their best to get more and more number of profit, more amount of profit, but as the land is not that big, so they do it alternatively by using their mind and some sort of tricks. Crop rotation is also practiced for retaining the soil fertility so that the soil does not loses its fertility. Crops like wheat, maize, and barley are grown along with potatoes, turnips, peas, and beans in rotation. Means these are the crops which are mostly used and mostly grown in these regions. This type of farming is practiced in the Europe and North America on a large scale. Means on a very big scale, Argentina, Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa are the other countries where mixed farming is practiced. Here, students, the regions are mentioned. You can go through them and know more about what other kind of farming is also done over here. Then comes plantation farming. Plantation farming is done on large land areas. Here the farm size is large. It is practiced in countries which experience high annual temperatures and receive high annual rainfall. Means the conditions and terms are clearly mentioned. Plantation farming requires affordable and skilled labor, huge capital investments. Affordable means labor should not be charging too much on them. Capital should be okay. Capital means amount you are investing. Efficient and scientific methods. Techniques should be there, machines should be available, and special implementations according to the requirement of the crop. Means if a crop is of no use, like crop is not of high demand and still you are putting your machinery and that is costing you much, then that is not good. That will not help you economically. Examples include the sugarcane and fruit plantations in Caribbean and Latin America, rubber plantations in Malaysia, coffee plantations in Brazil, and tea plantations in India. These are the regions where these kind of crops along with the country names are mentioned. And next is dairy farming. Dairy farming caters to the need of milk and dairy products of people living in industrial cities, like people like us who are there in towns and cities, and still there is no cow, no cattle, because of which and with which we can get some dairy products like milk and other products. Dairy farmers breed and raise animals, chiefly cows, for the production of milk and milk products, because milk is the most essential product that we use. Here, well trained labor in adequate numbers. Adequate means proper number of prime requisites as good care has to be taken of the cattle. Means everything into good consideration has been considered and has to be considered while taking care. With the advancement in technology, machines are now used for milking, feeding, and cleaning the cattle. Means now they use high-tech technologies so as to either milk and feed and clean the cattle. Dairy farming needs a lot of investment. The leading dairy farming countries are New Zealand, Australia, and Denmark. In India, mostly and mainly it is done in Gujarat. Dairy farming is a small scale activity. To know more about dairy farming, you just can search on Google what are the major plants that are set up in India, and which are the most important industries that set up and that exhibit these kind of farmings. Next is pastoral farming. So before going ahead, let me clear one thing. Pastures means cattle, means animals, herbivores animals. Pastoral farming is the commercial rearing of livestock. Animals like sheep, goat, yak, and cow are reared for meat, milk, wool, hide, and other products. These animals are kept in large farms called ranches. The places where they are kept are known as ranches. The ranches are well kept and are managed scientifically, means they don't have any kind of disturbances like bacteria and viruses cannot spread easily over there. They take care of every cleanliness and many more factors. It is practiced in the temperature grasslands and over the world. Like so many people and so many areas occupy and follow these techniques so as to get products getting from that which they can be get from these animals. Okay, so here is orchid farming. Orchid means a kind of very big farm with lots and lots of trees, and here mainly the farming is done on the basis on for the purpose of getting fruits and nuts which can be manufactured easily and can be sent to the industries so as to get and get converted into finished products. In orchid farming, fruits and nuts are grown in large areas. Fruits and nuts like grapes, apples, apricots, pears, oranges, cherries, almonds, walnuts, and cashews nuts are grown. Large orchards are found in the Mediterranean regions like Portugal, Spain, and France, and in California in the USA. These are the regions where the mostly and mainly these orchid farming is done. Orchid farming is a highly specialized form of commercial agriculture. The cultivation of grapes is called viticulture. The Mediterranean region is famous for wine production. Orchid farming is expensive and requires a lot of manual labor because you just cannot depend on machines for plucking the fruits from the trees. For that, you will definitely need some human capital and human labor. Next comes horticulture. Horticulture is the scientific cultivation of fruits and flowers. This type of farming is popular all over the world, especially in the regions like European countries and in the USA. And the Netherlands is the largest producer of tulips in the world. And in India, roses and marigolds are produced on a large scale. So because they are mostly sent to the temples, to the parties, to the decorations, to the decors, many more places they are being used. Next comes market gardening, which is the last one. Market gardening involves the cultivation of vegetables, fruits, and flowers only for the urban markets. Urban market means for the cities and towns. In this type of agriculture, land holding is usually small and is mostly located on the outskirts of cities. Means land holding. The person who is having a land mostly grows the crop and is that field is nearly near the city but is outside of it. Outskirt means somewhere outside. Here also a lot of manual labor is required and is scientifically managed to get a high yield. High yield means high productivity. It is also known as truck farming. Mark the name. Truck farming is another name of market gardening, as fresh vegetables are transported to the nearby markets by trucks. And for your information, let me tell you that like Grofers and Big Bazaar, Reliance Fresh, these are the industries and companies which use mostly market gardening because they'll need certain fresh vegetables every day on the market. So they consult such person and pay them in a good amount, in a handsome amount. Market gardening is prevalent in the densely populated regions of northwestern Europe and northeastern parts of the USA. Market gardening is picking trends in India too. Like as I told you, it is picking in trends in India means people are still showing, people are coming forward to take and actively participate in market gardening. So students, it was all from my side. Thank you so much for paying attention, and I hope that you all have understood the concepts and the topics that I just covered up in the following chapter. And in case of any doubts or any queries, you can ping me up on the chat on chat box or on MCB application. And in case of any queries, then you can also access internet and some YouTube videos because they will be having a good content, and the video which is provided, you can have more and more clarity from the topics which are covered. Thank you and stay safe and take care.